Hi, I'm Andy from tcgfolk.com, and today we're going to make potato latkes. So for this recipe, we're going to need 2 good-sized russet potatoes, which I've taken the liberty of peeling for you already because I know you don't want to see me do that. We're going to need to grate half of an onion. We're going to have 2 beaten eggs with, we've added a tablespoon of cream to those eggs. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of flour where we've added a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of baking powder. The slotted spoon is very important, and I'll talk about that later. We're going to need oil for frying. So the first thing I'm going to do is grate this onion. I'm just going to use this little grater here. I have a word of advice. Be really careful when you grate an onion on a grater like this, or you will do some damage to your fingers. And that is not good in the latkes. A bunch of recipes don't call for grated onion. I think that that's sort of the kind of the signature ingredient sort of for the flavor profile of a latke. So now I got this onion and I got to get rid of it. So you'll have to excuse me for a minute. Okay, thanks for the break. Okay, I'm going to start grating these potatoes. And you want to work fast because these potatoes will start to turn, they'll oxidize, they'll kind of start to turn purple a little bit. A lot of people say, well, you can add some lemon juice or you can add some sour salt, which isn't actually salt, to keep them from doing that. My experience is, even though they get a little bit brown, maybe turn a little bit purple, once you cook them, you can't really tell, it goes away. Can't taste it. It's not part of the product anymore. So we're going to add the rest of our ingredients to our shredded potatoes. You can see they've been shredded in this bowl. We're going to add our eggs, which have a little cream in it. We're going to add our 2 tablespoons of flour, our baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon, half a teaspoon salt. We're going to mix that around, make sure it's all mixed in really good. And I'm going to talk about this spoon I'm using. I'm using a slotted spoon, and that's because I want to be able to drain off some of the liquid that we have happening here in these potatoes as I put them in the fryer. So I'm going to move all this over to the fryer, and we're going to start making some latkes. So we have all our mixed ingredients here in the bowl, and you can see that there's been quite a lot of liquid. That's why we're going to use our slotted spoon, because we're going to get rid of some of that liquid. We're going to put it into this hot oil. I'm using my electric skillet, turned it up really high. The oil should be about 350 degrees to really do a good job of cooking these. So I'm just going to start putting them in the oil. Ah, that's the sound right there. It takes about two tablespoons or so. Make sure that I get that liquid out of there. Flatten them out a little bit like that. You know, they look kind of raggedy. That's sort of that's the whole idea. You don't want to have a beautiful, perfect product. You want those little raggedy edges. That makes them look good. These are going to cook about 2 or 3 minutes on a side. We're going to make sure that they're nice and brown, and then we're going to turn them over in a couple of minutes. So it's been about 3 minutes. I'm going to flip them, but I mean, you don't want to use a timer necessarily. You really just want to look and see how they look. See how they're starting to get brown? They really look nice, and they're starting to get brown. Be very careful with this oil, by the way. I've been doing this a long time, and so I stick my finger in the middle and to flip it. I wouldn't recommend you do that. I would recommend that you use a spoon or something else to flip them, but it's just how I've done it, and I've been doing it a long time, so that's how I do it. See how they look? Oh my God, they are so beautiful. That's what you want. That's the brown you want. We're going to let these go another 3 minutes, then we're going to pull them out of the fryer. These guys are looking awesome. I'm going to get ready to pull them out, and I guarantee you I'm not going to use my fingers this time. So we're going to pull them out. We're going to put them on this wire rack and let them drain. Let some of that oil drain off. You can see they're just perfectly cooked. This one I'm going to flip so you can see the flip side. See that? Oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. And I think that baking powder and the eggs, and they make it puff up a little bit, they're going to be just awesome. So I'm going to continue to cook cook the rest of these latkes, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes. So we've pulled our latkes out of the fryer and let them drain on this rack with the paper towels underneath. And now we're just going to serve these up. I personally like to serve them with a little bit of sour cream. Applesauce is traditional, very traditional, but today we're just going to do sour cream and put them on the platter. We're going to make a beautiful little presentation here so that we can take them to the table, and they will be enjoyed for about 1 minute and then they'll be gone. Doesn't matter how many latkes you make, everybody eats all of them. But as I say, you can keep them in the freezer. Just like this, I would put them in a bag and reheat them in a pretty hot oven for just a few minutes if you have some left over. But those beautiful little potato latkes are going to be fantastic. So thanks for letting me share my latke recipe with you. Till next time, see you later.